Ganesh won't kill all different atrocities. So I am with my wife and my son, deputy to.
Sibi Sambom did come with his wife and his son to a place that in public can't be named because it's a haven, a refuge for flag-waving citizens craving safety from those too hastily armed. And they weren't the first. There were 10,000 strong that walked out in the 80s. And lately, by which I mean since that time, more and more of their people have snuck out the door. What is a refugee? Amongst 10,000, each is an effigy for their neighbor. In the book of history, they are the place saver, a bookmark to spark a memory of darkness so deep that it crept into homes, that it crept into dreams, that it seamlessly supplanted familiarity with fear, washing away a hope that for thousands of years had earned the right to be taken for granted. He said, I want to raise my family here, in our ancestral home, in the place that I've known all my life. Sibi Sambom left home with his son and his wife.
I'm lucky and I'm privileged. I've been given the gift of travel to a few parts of the world where the dirt path has been paved with gravel, to other parts where progress paves the way for pavement walkways, where monkeys still graze like they didn't know the forest isn't meant to be colored gray. But hey, I don't begrudge it and I don't love it either. Cities will move as they will move. Buildings like trees grow higher for higher, though I'll admit I've often dreamed of seeing the world my grandfather couldn't did. And now I've found a place where that dream tentatively lives, and it gives me. And my intention is also you, a sense that there's still an awful lot of work to do, but we're not gonna get there yet. You know, I've gotta sell it to you first. So let's traverse the verse that is my contribution to this field of work first. Breathe in and out, and then out and in, and feel grateful for your lungs transporting all that oxygen. It's from the forests of the world, yeah, we all know what they perform. This jungle's among the biggest that our world has ever formed. And inside it, there are birds of paradise. And on a clear night, they might fly to the right height to catch the ocean in their sight. This tropical coastline's hugging full-time ecosystems that are so finite. Well, they're worth a fight, so here you have it. The Coral Triangle is considered the most diverse marine ecosystem on the planet, so called by some the ocean's Amazon. And if you're lucky enough to glimpse where it exists in this place, just remember, there's about 1,300 types of fish to face-to-face swim with. I've been with the people that live here, shared stories and beer, gave them a promise that I'd bring their interviews back here, and not just folk tales that stretch back over thousands of years, which, by the way, is how long they've been living here. So who's they? And where's this? And what the hell are you talking about? We're living in the West, man. We got our own problems. They can't be crowded out, you know, I know. And I agree. And I've struggled with this too, but I've made the choice to be a voice for those who might not be able to reach the global stage. So here's some names, I'll tell them to you now. West Papua, they're Papuans, First Nations of the world. Remember how we might exist sustainably. And I, for one, am keen to see the intersect. Environment and human rights as one. Humanity is in the blood of every person on this planet. So I will run this simple campaign with the motto to get done. A little PR for this cause. And if I give you pause to think, not so much about the damage that we've caused, but our potential. Imagine you could stencil down a mark in pen or pencil. What would you write? I know for me, a bit of peace feels right. So with permission, I'll ask some help from you. I'm a simple storyteller with a complex job to do.
For some people who are related with Papua New Guinea project, their life is in danger. And sometimes the police come to their house and threaten, like, I'll kill you if you like that. So it's like dangerous for us to, in the public, to say freedom. Like Jacob Rumbiak, Roni Karim, but they're not safe, they come back to Indonesia, but their life in danger.
Jakarta is scared about education, that's why Jakarta caught me. They thought that by put me in prison is can create, fear and scare to Papua. So when the press asked to talk about where you are the friend, where gun, where you important people, that means they will torture us or they will kill us. So we only, in the movement, we only choose Merdeka or death. I was tortured very bad, and then at the time I choose death. The floor we stand is this iron, so we must took water from, put in buckets. We put the water there and then the electric is outside. I only opened my eyes in other place and I knew that, I am now in this place. So this very heavy one. But when they took me there, I knew that this electric.
Yeah, but my father, he was a musician, an artist. He wanted his people to be free, and he and his group, the Mambasa group, by bringing the old songs back and telling the old stories, they managed to bring back our identity, hope. The Indonesian authorities, they were afraid that West Papuans will stand up, for the rights. That's why they choose to arrest him, and they planned this escape to give them a reason to kill him. And my father, he could have escaped, but he heard that he had a feeling that there was something wrong, So he waited, and finally they found him, and they killed him by a gunshot and a stab. So that is my father's end. His name is.
This song is for the cultural figures whose visions brought home the good changes which slowly arose. Those very old souls whose legacies nourish our roots, growing sky high while inspiring minds to seek proof beyond systems. We are not victims. Instead, we're riffing on shifts in the business as usual mindset, and this is a crime. Time after time after time, we've refined ourselves to accelerate forecasts of what yet could come. The people are humming among them a song which has never been sung with one voice before this. That's a cultural shift. Listen, it's lifting, the humming is drifting into something different. That's singing, they're bringing it all as one song, though they're born of hundreds of tongues. That's how peace has begun. Now here's where I talk about somebody real. A man who was killed by a fearful ideal. He walked in the hills and the valleys, spoke with communities and made alliances, but not with contracts or treaties. No, he hungered for truth and whistled while wandering, haunted by guns being flaunted in monstrous systems. He listened to music and he heard resistance incoming. We're one or we're nothing. A few hundred tribes divided by blood were suddenly flooded with calm and caused hardship and culture, harmonized by all these very old songs that he put onto radio. He laid low the spirit to know and to show we can peacefully choose to react. And his name?
Arnold Clemens Up. Yeah, my father was murdered in 1984, and he had some friends living in the Netherlands. Somehow they managed to get my mother and me and my three brothers to come to Holland. For me, I'm glad to live, a free life in the Netherlands, but West Papua is still my home. All my family is there, so now I feel like I'm disconnected to my home, but that's the way it is, man.